Hello YouTube, this is my 1991 Daihatsu Rugger or 4-track turbo diesel. It's having a problem at the moment where the voltage regulator down there is overcharging the battery, and I've blown up about 3 of them. It's charging them at about 19 volts, which is way too high. And it's also, can't really see that down there, but under the airbox here, it's burnt out those wires going to the alternator. It still works, but it still charges too high. So I've got a new one of those, and yeah, I'll just take that off, take the airbox off, and we'll see how bad the wires are, and we'll wire in the new one. Sweet. So you can see there, that's at idle, and when I rev it up, it just keeps going. Okay, so we got the airbox off and the old voltage regulator. There's the new one, there's the old one. I lost the cover for it, but same wires coming out of there. I think a lot of those aren't necessary because it's been working fine. That's the black and white wire, which is completely gone after I took this off. It's still working. I think half of these are the temperature adjusted ones. Yellow goes to the battery is the main one, white goes to the alternator as the main high amp output one, and then the only one that, this one, blue and white, seems to also be disconnected. I haven't had this car for long, so someone's meddled with it because they've wired a switch instead of fixing the problem. So they can turn the alternator off and then back on again. So yeah, that one turns the alternator on. These two, I just tested them with the multimeter, they're grounded, so they both go to negative. This one does not. That activates the alternator and turns it on. Comes back here into the switch, and the other ones go into the wiring loom, and they seem okay. So I'm not too sure what those do. I think it might be the temperature, because it adjusts the voltage for the temperature of the alternator, I'm pretty sure. I might leave those because they're burnt right up into there. Nothing's touching, so I'm going to plug the new one in just to what it is now and see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll play around with it. If it does, we'll probably still connect these wires and play around with it. So yeah, have a look. So we've just wired all the wires back up, and it still looks high on there, but it doesn't climb any higher than that. And I had a look on the multimeter and it was 13.8, which is reasonable. So I'll just show you what we did in the glove box. So it's charging the right voltage at the moment, and so the burnt out wire here, which was a black and white one, just goes straight through here to ground back there. So we wired that one back with a new wire up to there. I used a brown one for that instead. Don't worry about the yellow wire, that just goes to the oil sensor down there. The blue and white wire turns, goes through there, turns the alternator on, and then the white and green wire that was also just cut goes to the alternator as well, and it senses the flow, senses how much volts, and then it regulates it through here. So you do need the other two wires, because I wired up just the blue wire, just the blue and white wire, and the other main wire, and it was still charging 18 volts. When I connected them all, then it was charging at 13.5 with the new regulator. I did try it with the old regulator as well, just to see if it was still good, but it wasn't, still charging at 18 volts. Plugged it in, tidied it up, and we'll just put the airbox and everything back on, and yeah, it's finished.